What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you that PBA Week 4 matchup. We got the Chicago Beartics taking on the SF Deltas. This is a great match. I'm 2-1, Blau's 3-0, so it's definitely going to be a challenge to take him down. But let's go over the rosters. Starting with your Chicago Beartics team, you got Garchomp, Kartana, Toxtricity, Starmie, Chandelure, Honchkrow, Avalugg, Steelix, Throw, and Kecleon. So, and Mega Diancie, don't forget about that one. Pretty solid roster. But if you go ahead and take a look at Blau's roster, the top 6 are the ones that I think he's going to bring versus me. Dragapult, Scizor, Mega Gardevoir, Gliscor, Rotom, and Nidoking. Those are the 6 that I would personally see coming. Just especially, well, Dragapult, I could see it as a Scarfer to try to counter a Scarf Chandelure. And I think that he is 100% expecting me to bring Chandelure. Pretty much it's my most reliable way to take out a Scizor, and I'm pretty sure he'll expect Scarf because that'll also outspeed Dragapult. So we could try to counter Scarf that, which would be pretty interesting. Mega Gardevoir, he's used it fairly effectively this season, just as like kind of a support mon, but also like a breaker for like the end game to try to clean it up. Yeah, and then he's also been very reliant on his sort of Gliscor Scizor backbone. The removal of hidden power really helps those two mons. So like you kind of need to be creative to sort of take them out. But yeah, I 100% expect Gliscor because I don't have an offensive ice type because my defensive ice is Avalugg. So yeah, I could see Gliscor coming for that reason. Rotom just kind of is an annoyance to deal with. My grass type is Kartana, so I can deal with that fairly effectively, but it could just go around and spread Will-O-Wisp, which would kind of be an issue for my team. So yeah, but I think I can break through it. It's just going to be a matter of sort of getting it done. And then lastly, Nidoking. I really like this thing as sort of a premier Mega Diancie answer. This thing does that really well, and I sort of had to bring... Originally I had one Mega Diancie set, realized that I can't touch Nidoking, so I had to switch that stuff up. So it'll be a challenge to break. And then on the bottom, 5 mons that I don't think are coming. Regigigas could be an interesting pick, but I see it sort of only as a gimmick. I don't really see it coming. Sneasel could try to come, but when I have a Mega Diancie and a Kartana, I don't really see it coming. Moltres could try to come for the Kartana, but again, Mega Diancie kind of holds that thing back a little bit. Mienshao could come as well. Like, he has so many mons that I think really just could come, which made prepping for this really hard. The only one that I don't really see coming is Regigigas, but even then, it's still such a threatening mon that I have to prep for it anyways, if it can get going out of like slow start. And then, yeah, then Vileplume could try to come as like a secondary Mega Diancie answer, but I see Nidoking filling that role pretty well, so I just don't see Vileplume coming. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the sets that I brought in the order that I thought of them and made them. So, up first, I grabbed Starmie. I really liked its matchup this week, kind of as frankly the best way that I had to sort of break through Gliscor, so that was really sort of almost necessary. Rapid Spin, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Psychic, max speed, max special attack, pretty simple set. I need that to outspeed or to speed tie Sneasel. Yeah, and then Kasib Berry allows me to stay in on Dragapult and KO it, which is really nice. Although, yeah, I'm not sure if he sees the Kasib Berry coming or not. We just gotta hope that I can keep it intact long enough to be able to sort of Ice Beam the Dragapult. Additionally, Rapid Spin, if I get that going, I could just outspeed the Dragapult and KO it, which is very nice for me. But he gets to the liberty of running a very bulky Dragapult this week, which I don't like, because he barely has to invest in speed, even at all, just to outspeed Starmie. That's my fastest mon. So, that's really nice for him. gonna be annoying to work around when this Dragapult just gets so much free bulk EVs without having to worry about being outsped or at a cost to its attack. But up next, I decided to grab my Garchomp. Just a rough skin Rocky helmet set. I really like this to deal with Scizor. Stealth Rock, EQ, Dragon Claw, Toxic. I was looking at maybe running Stone Edge, but I ultimately decided against it. Rough skin plus Rocky helmet means that mons that make physical contact do 30%, I believe, or take 30%, I believe. So that's really nice. And if not, just spreading Toxics is always a good thing, and just Rocks is always pretty nice. And then, yeah, just fairly bulky with that HP stat. And then just a little bit of attack to sort of do. I forget what it was for, but yeah, don't ask me why I run it, but it is for something significant. Yeah. So up next, Mega Diancie. I was looking at maybe a special Diancie this week. For the first time since week 1. Rock Polish, Moonblast, Earth Power, Power Gem. I was also looking at potentially running Psychic over Earth Power, which I might do that before the game, just to give me a more reliable way to break through Vileplume. But yeah, because that thing could come for this set and sort of do pretty solid work against it, which is one thing that I have to really be aware of. But yeah, and then Scizor is kind of an issue for me because just, yeah, Bullet Punch obviously does a lot, so I can't really stay in against the Scizor reliably, which is kind of an issue. But yeah. Up next, we got Chandelure here. Yeah, this is the Choice Scarf Chandelure that I think was pretty expected. Flash Fire for the ability, max speed to speed tie his base 80. I forget which it was, but it exists. Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, Psychic, Memento. Pretty solid set. Again, I always want to try to Memento into something. Hopefully I can do it successfully one week. But yeah, I've been packing it most weeks, so coaches are probably going to start being aware of that. And that's going to be something that I'm going to have to look to change. Additionally, I think I've brought Choice Chandelure every week, so could be something that I have to change. My prep is getting a bit lazy. But, you know what? Fix that laziness. First time all season, that's the last one, I forgot. No, first we got Kartana here. Choice Band Kartana, Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Knockoff, Sacred Sword. Some say that attack stat is too much. Why do you need a Choice Band? Just rips through the entire team really well with that Choice Band. Nothing really can take a hit. Looks like I've invested in a lot of stats, but if you look at it, it's 16 HP, 4 defense, 8 SPDF. Like, just kind of spreading that out a little bit. The 8 SPDF is that I can reach 100 exactly, and then just toying around with the defense and HP. Pretty standard for me. Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Knockoff, Sacred Sword. I could see Scarf Me and Chow, so I don't really want to stay in on that. But yeah, if I can just start working through his team, this Kartana just does so much work. And last up, this is where the new sets come in. We got Honchkrow with the Scope Lens Super Luck. Just fairly standard. I put a little bit of speed in case he tries to creep it. Modest Nature, Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, Roost, and Air Slash, which I got this generation, which is very nice. I was contemplating running Hurricane, but I figured I would probably miss it. But I could still do that before the battle. But if you see me not apologize for a crit from this Honchkrow, that is why. I'm not an asshole. It's just, yeah, there's a 50% chance that this thing will crit you. So if you get crit twice or 3 times in a row, that's not that out of the ordinary. It's just like a coin flip for if I crit or not, which is really nice. But yeah, this is my team, and yeah, I'll see you guys once the battle happens. Alright, you got your battle here. So, lead matchup, but I was thinking either Chandelure or Garchomp lead, and I predicted him to either lead Dragapult or Nidoking. But let's see how that goes. So he actually leads Gardevoir, which I did not expect. So, but I quite like, because now I can just click Shadow Ball for big damage on something. So, yeah, I Shadow Ball it. Pretty big damage, 75%. I really like that. He Psyshocks me down a good amount. But then I Shadow Ball, take out the Mega Gardevoir turn 1. Or turn 2, I mean, which is really nice. Now he goes into this Gliscor, and I just Shadow Ball it, want to see how much that does. We get this Spadef drop, which is really nice, as he just sets rocks, but now he's kind of forced to switch. Otherwise, he loses the Garchomp, or the Gliscor, I mean. But then a Shadow Ball right here should be able to take out most of the Scizor. It does 41%, which I am in big favor of. I'm Scarfed, so I got to switch out into my Garchomp, preserve that thing for a little bit later. He goes for a Roost, which is kind of interesting. Reveals pretty bulky on the Scizor. I just set rocks right here. Yeah, and then I Toxic the Moltres because I just want to get that thing going down. He U-turns, takes big damage from Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, which is really nice. Goes into the Dragapult. This point kind of scares me out, so I go into the Chandelure as sort of a sack, but he just U-turns. Yeah. So he goes back into the Scizor. I assumed to Bullet Punch, but just in case he wanted to try to do something else, I just clicked Fire Blast, in case he wanted to try to make a read or something. But now I can go into my Honchkrow and threaten this thing, or just threaten whatever comes in. He goes Nidoking. I just want a big crit Heat Wave here, but unfortunately I don't get the crit. The crit would have, I don't know how much it mattered. He goes Starmie. I expected an Ice Beam, but instead here comes a Thunderbolt. Yeah, that kind of sucked because I was expecting Ice Beam. I would resist that, Rapid Spin up, and then potentially just do a lot of damage to his team, if not win. Because I also wanted to spin to get rid of so much of the rocks. I knock off the Heavy Duty Boots off the Moltres, but then it dies to Toxic. Unfortunately, I don't get my Beast Boost. So he goes Nidoking. At this point, I didn't really know what I could switch in on the Nidoking. If it was Scarf, and if it wasn't, I would just take it out with a big knockoff. So now I go Diancie. He Ice Beams me. He crits. I don't really think that mattered too much. I Rock Polished up. Now I Mega Evolve, and I can just Psychic it for big damage. I think if I Mega'd that first turn, I potentially could have died, which is really bad. But so now he goes Scizor, and I expect a Bullet Punch, so I go straight into Garchomp, as he does go for that Bullet Punch. So yeah, he takes 30% off of that. So now he goes Gliscor, and I didn't want him to get Gliscor in for free, so I just clicked Dragon Claw, doing big damage to that. Then it heals up a good amount with Toxic Heal, but at this point, Dragon Claw does a good amount there. So now he goes into the Scizor, and I was not really sure what I wanted to do. I just wanted to Earthquake to get decent damage off. It roosts, and then we do this for, I think, 1 or 2 more turns where I EQ, he roosts. Yeah. So then I decide to go into my Honchkrow this time. I would have loved to put Sucker Punch on here. I think that would have won me the game, but unfortunately I didn't. So now I can click Heat Wave. He Bullet Punches before he dies, which does big damage to me, but I click Heat Wave, which is pretty big. He goes Dragapult. If I had Sucker, I think I might have won here. It was like a 50-50, but I decided on Special Crow. Yeah, had I roosted up on the Scizor, that also could have been big. But I go Garchomp because I live a Surf, but he crits me. It was modest spec, so it ended up being like a 50-50. But yeah, kind of losing to a crit really sucks, especially when he's the undefeated team. And I would have been able to take out an undefeated team, which would have been really nice. But losing to that kind of sucks. I'm not sure what would have ended up happening, but yeah, that crit kind of mattered. Because if not, there's a 50% chance that I won that game. But yeah, you live and you learn, I guess. I'm not even sure how much a Sucker Punch did, but yeah. So had I not gotten crit there, but I'm not trying to sound salty. I'm just a little annoyed that instead of being 3-1, I'm 2-2, but still could make playoffs like this. Got a bit of a tough schedule ahead. Hoping to round out the season at least 5-3. I think that'll be pretty safe for playoffs. 4-4 probably comes down to differential, but yeah, the goal is to finish it off 5-3, 6-2. Yeah, but until next time, Jesse504 Out.